This is just a quick video going through some simple options within the settings and explaining why you would maybe want to have a look at these or why you would ever use these in a day-to-day basis, with the majority not probably being used on a day-to-day basis, but we can have a look through them. So we're going to have a look at is first of all your network settings. This is obviously I'm already in general, but actually we'll start up here. I think probably starting from the top seems the most logical way to go through them. So first of all, we've got airport. What this does is disables all wireless connection and also Bluetooth. So putting it on airport mode enables you to take it, say for example, on an airplane, or use it on an airplane if you're going abroad. Just turn that back on and you'll see my internet connection will come back on in a second. There we go. So also we've got our Wi-Fi connection. Our Wi-Fi connection, currently I'm on the university network. This indicates what networks are available. Also obviously if you're at home, this is how you set your home network up, which I know majority of you have already done. If we go back, we have our notifications. This is a way we can set what notifications we get through. So depending on what software we have installed, we can deselect or select the various options for notifications. For example, if I wanted to change the way that a Facebook or a faster time information comes through, I can change the way it alerts me. So I can change it in different options. Depending on the software you have installed, they'll have different notifications. A notification is, say for example, if somebody was calling me or a text message or a reminder, how would it display on the unit as an alert if I say for example I've set a reminder with a preset alert time. Location. This is where you can set certain applications require you to give your location. For example, I've just been to Alton Towers recently, so I have the app. So what I've done is I've turned it off at the moment, but generally it enables me to use my GPS system on my obviously iPad. It enables me to obviously identify where I am at the park and so on. This is your general background settings. So what you've got here is obviously your front and back page. What we can do is decide what pictures we want. So we have our pre-selection pictures. We can pick on a picture, so we can change that by setting up here. It will say set, and you see it will change my back page. But in this setting here you have your two major front and back page, and you can decide what kind of pictures you have by just simply selecting the information and then going through pictures and then finding the picture you want to change it to. Here we've got brightness. At the moment I obviously got it on mid setting. You can also put on an automated setting. What this does, it adapts during, in the sense when this button is on, what it does, it auto changes the brightness depending on what environment you're in. So for example, if I went to a sudden dark room, the screen would get obviously lighter, and then it's actually the opposite way around. So if I go to a light room, the screen gets brighter. If I go to a dark room, it gets darker, in the sense it doesn't need to use much power. Generally it's a power saving option, so if you're worried about your battery, it's a good option to have on. Next we go on to picture frames. What this enables you to do is obviously set what kind of views you have on your pictures. So in the sense you can do your zoom in FaceTime. You've got obviously different shutter settings, you've got different time delays. So for example you can have it so it has a time delay before it starts. It's a way you can view your pictures, and various picture settings which are quite self-explanatory. General settings. This is where we have our main obviously pieces of information regards the actual software and so on. So here sometimes you get asked about what software version you may be running. This is obviously where you'll find it in about. So here we've got our various pieces of information about what settings and versions I'm currently using. So for example, my current software version for my iPad at the moment is 1.5. What you might have found recently is they've just given an update. So currently they're asking for an update. If you see in this area here it says software update. So if I click on that button there, what it will ask me is, do I want to update to the newer version? Which is, I probably advise that you keep up to the most up-to-date software, as this will enable you to use the most up-to-date applications. Obviously you've got sound. Network we've already gone through, in the sense of this is similar to what we've got for our Wi-Fi setting. We've got Bluetooth, turn Wi-Fi sync on, so that enables you to sync your iTunes at home via Wi-Fi. Really it's not really worth doing. If I advise probably against that, because it can be quite annoying. What it means is that every time you come in the proximity of your computer, it automatically opens iTunes, which has if people use iTunes quite a lot will find that it's not the most smoothest of programs. We've also got spotlight search, so that enables us to, when we're in our search bar further on, it will enable us to search through all the various columns. We've also got different locks, different locking procedures, we've got different options for our keyboards, and we've got a way to use a manufacturer reset. What we've got next is cloud, so I think probably I'm going to just skip over some of these because I think we're obviously got a lot of options to go through, and what I'm probably going to do is just go through the main standard settings instead of trying to go through each one further down for when we go to the application settings. So here we've got cloud. Cloud is obviously the way we can sync things remotely from one device to the next. So at the moment I've got my mail, contacts, calendar, reminders, bookmarks, and do I have... Nope, I don't have my notes synced at the moment. I think I'll turn that on. So what it enables me to do is that enables me to sync all my devices to one device. So in the sense of when I make a note on my iPad, it automatically sends it to my iPhone, and so on and so forth. This is our mail settings. Currently I've got 3 email systems set up on my iPad. I've got obviously the university and the colleges. If we go into the university settings, what it gives you is the same kind of options what we had before about syncing and what to sync. So at the moment I've got my mail, my contacts and my calendar. What you can do is you can go into further details where it will show you obviously where I'm set up to, so in the sense of my email address, the server which it's using, and then also in the sense of the login and your password. This is important obviously when you change it on the UCLan system. You need to make sure you change it on your iPad as well, so it keeps synced and enables you to access your information. So when we finish we just press done, which is it's just in that corner there, which enables you to go back. What we have here is obviously different mail settings, which are really in terms of font size and so on and so forth. Probably as I've never really played with them before, they're not really essential to use. I can't see them as a day-to-day use. I just leave them as set as default. If people use Twitter, this is where you set your Twitter account, so you can sync your iPhone with your iPad with your Twitter. I have a Twitter account, so I currently don't sync that up. This is our Facebook time or Facebook time, FaceTime. This is where you set up your account. So currently my account is set up as j.hill@burnley.ac.uk. So that enables you to use obviously FaceTime to call each other, and that's obviously set up and currently turned on, so when people do ring me it automatically rings through. We've also got our current web browser or Safari settings. So at the moment my homepage is Google. I currently have no filters on, and obviously a background which is standard. Obviously there's barely anything which you ever play with this. I mean, the only thing which you may ever need to actually change on this is enable cookies, but I wouldn't advise to turn that on. But there's on this button here which says access cookies. Some websites will ask you to enable cookies, so here I've got always allow, for example, if certain websites need you to always allow cookies, but it's not often the case. You need to change that, but that's just in access cookies, which is in your Safari settings. It's taking a while to focus there. So next we've got our messaging. So this currently I've got iMessaging on. iMessaging enables you to obviously text message people for free if they've got an iPhone, and obviously you'll be able to send pictures and so on. This is just the basic settings. Currently my requests go through my email address, which is there, and the various information set there. Music, really we don't need to go into any details of this because this is obviously set up as standard. It's just the iPad music, which is in your obviously your music, which is on your desktop. These are just the basic settings about shuffles and EQs and volume limiters and things like that. Really, I don't really mess with these that often, but if you ever need to change the effects on a certain tune, you can find them here. So you can put, for example, acoustic, dance and so on. Just to go back, we obviously click on our back menu. Next is our video. Video is the same thing here, so what we've got is our start, play, and we've got our close. Really, I've really never touched any of these options, so they're not really essential to know about. Photo, so what we've got is our ability to stream photos. Currently I've got my streaming on, so this enables me to sync it to my cloud. Obviously that means that when I take a photo on my telephone, it automatically appears on my iPad and vice versa, enabling me to have access to my information from instant access to taking one photo with one device, and it instantly turns up on the other device. The only thing you need to do is, if you want that setting up, you already have obviously an iCloud account since you've already signed up to